Hello guys and welcome to my Docker tutorial series. In today's video, we'll be learning on how to install Dockers on your computer. First of all, what you want to do is you want to go to this site, docs.docker.com/get docker. Now what you want to do is in this site, there you're going to scroll down, there's going to be a few icons. You'll see Docker Desktop for Mac, Docker Desktop for Windows, and Docker for Linux. Well, basically, Docker Desktop is Docker with a added GUI to make it easier for you. Right now, there's no Docker Desktop for Linux. So if you have a Linux, don't worry. Most of this tutorial series will be about using Docker in shell, not with the GUI. Anyway, so what we're going to do is let's quickly look at how you install Dockers for Mac and Windows, because most of the time you're not using Linux. So let's go to Mac. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to scroll down and you have to look at system requirements, and Mac with Intel chip or Mac with Silicon chip, they have different requirements. So you just have to read this. Usually it's like you need VirtualBox and you need 4 GBs of RAM, something like that. And then what you want to do is you gotta install Dockers and then drag it into the applications folder. Then you gotta run the application that you just dragged, and there should be a display something like this on your Mac. And if that's the case, then Dockers works. Sometimes it takes a few seconds to launch, so if this icon doesn't show up in the first 10 seconds, don't worry about it. It usually takes a bit of time. Now, let's go back to Windows. Over here at Windows, you gotta look at the system requirements. Windows 10 or Windows 11 both work. You gotta enable WSL2 feature on Windows. Most of the times it's enabled by default, but if it's not, then that might be one of your issues. You also have to have the download and install in Linux kernel. So basically, Windows also kind of has a Linux kernel inside of it, but sometimes that's not pre-installed with your computer, so you gotta install it separately. I talked about this in the last video. And then you install it, and you should run it, and it should be fine. By the way, for the Windows, you should see as one of your background running applications. If you don't know how to run a background running application, let me show you right now. Basically, what you do is you go down here and you make sure that there's this icon right here, Docker Desktop running. Once you have that all set up, Docker should be installed on your computer. Now let's check what Docker version we have on the terminal. Now, once we open terminal, we can simply do Docker space version. And if it gives you both a client and an engine version for Dockers, then that means it's good. If one of these are missing, then obviously you did something wrong, so you got to recheck your steps. Make sure you're not missing any of the system requirements. That'll be all for today's video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and see you next time.